So today in this video, I want to talk about if I feel like nursing was the right fit for me. So it's gonna be a nice sit down chat, get a snack, get something, because I know I can talk for days and I feel like that's what this video is gonna be about, but it's gonna be a lot of information in it too. So I really hope that you guys stick around. So let's get into the video. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, because a lot of people don't know like why I picked my path or anything like that. So let's start back from high school. We're not gonna go back into the beginning of my life, but we'll start high school. So I graduated high school, or towards the end of the senior year, everybody's like, where are you gonna go to college? I'm like, I know I wanna go to college for sure. So I picked my college and I was like, you know what? I really think that being a doctor would be really dope. You know what I mean? And my family had my back. They're like, oh yeah, you know, if you're gonna be a doctor, lawyer, any of those things, your parents are just, they're ecstatic. They're like, they did what they needed to do. So I was like, I'll make my parents happy and I'll make a lot of money. And I don't know if it was just because I was young that money was on my mind, but I wanted to make it big. Not saying that it's still not on my mind, because you obviously need money to survive in this world. But back then I was like, I need to make bank. Like I need to make 200, 300s, and that's what doctors usually make. So I was like, yeah, med school is gonna be the route for me. So when I got to college, I'm like, okay, let me just get the biology major, because that's what everybody gets anyway in the first place, because that gives you all the prereqs and best prepares you to go to med school. So I took biology or had that as my major, and I don't know if it was because it was my first semester and I was finally free and no parental guidance or what it was, but people have a good time in college. And I had a good time in college, and not saying that my academics weren't number one, but I just wasn't giving it the all that I really needed to give it. And I was worried about having fun and then doing my schoolwork, but then I also knew what I needed to get done. So I just wasn't putting 110% like I usually do, which is really out of character for me, and I was probably giving it like 80-85%. So I wasn't getting the results that I feel like I needed. And biology is a hard major by any means. Anybody who takes it knows that that stuff is hard. It is science heavy because it's biology. So after the first semester, I went through some stuff and I was like, you know what? You need to get your head in the game, girl. Like if you want to go to med school, which I did at the time, I was like, you need to get good grades, because that's what med school is going to be looking for. So the next semester I did good. I had that, and then I was at a liberal arts college, so I had to take other classes here and there. I did what I had to do. So boom, I was back on track. Then sophomore year, when I went back to school in the fall, as a biology major, you have to take organic chemistry 1. Let me just tell you that that class is so hard. For anybody who has taken it, I know they know that it's hard. I know that they know that it's hard. They feel the pain in my voice with Organic Chem 1. That class really tripped me up. So I had to study so hard for that test, or for those tests. It was like a foreign language. And I was just like, I'm giving my all. And then with Organic Chem 1, you have to take Organic Chem 2, because that's what you need for med school. And I was like, oh no, like I can't do this again. And I'm not a I can't type of person, not at all. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to rethink my path. And I took Organic Chem 1, it threw me for a loop, and I was like, do I really honestly, being honest with myself, do you think that you're gonna be okay with Organic Chem 2? And honestly, the answer was no. So I was thinking, do I really want to go to med school? Because that's another thing. Can you do it? And do you want to do it? That's two different things. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, med school, it's a lot that comes with med school. So undergrad, you gotta go 4 years. You gotta have stellar grades, which is great and all. That's doable. Then you get into med school, and you also, before that, you gotta take the MCAT to be able to get into these med schools, do all of those interviewing, things like that. Then you go to 4 years of med school, then you get into the hospital and you have like a 2-year residency maybe. And by the time all this stuff is over, you're about 30 years old and you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And I really had to think to myself, and I was like, do I really want to do that, not get to where I want to be? until I'm 30 just because of the paycheck. And I had to be honest with myself, and I was like, no. There's a lot of factors on why I said no, but we'll talk about that into another video, like nurse versus doctor lifestyles, I guess we can say, which may be a cool video to do. But I'm going over to left field and I need to stay on track. So I really had to think, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that to myself. I want my college experience to not be so stressful, but also I want to learn because I'm obviously paying tuition for a reason, and I needed to think of a plan quick. And I knew that I didn't want to get out of the medical route, so I was like, I need to stay with the sciences because none of that other stuff like that interests me. And like maybe here and there for like a minor and things like that, but none of that stuff I would want to do for the rest of my life. So I was thinking about the nursing program, but then it was too late for the nursing program because you have to start when you're a freshman, and it's a hard program to get into at the college that I was at. So that was off the table. And then at that time, I really didn't think that I wanted to be a nurse. I had the mindset of doctor was superior to nurse. Now, mind you, I would eat my words because I was a young me. I didn't know any better. I'm eating my words now as I speak. I thought that I can't go from wanting to be a doctor to being a nurse. Until you realize how much a nurse does, we don't even have to touch on that topic. So I was like, okay, nurse out the window. No, I don't want to do that. I was like, but I know I want to do something else. So I switched my major to neuroscience. And that was the best decision that I could have ever made because I met so many professors that challenged me as well as still having a good time. And it was a nice balance. The biology department, I didn't feel like I really got that. My neuroscience, I did. And I still majored in a science. A hard science. Like neuroscience is nothing easy. So I was super proud of myself for doing that, and I got through my next 2 years trying to figure out what I was gonna do. And my grade point average was doing great because it was something that I actually liked. So let's fast forward to around senior year, and I need to figure out what I'm gonna do because usually when you get a neuroscience major, you go to grad school for research, and like as much as I like research, that wasn't something that I wanted to do. I don't want to be in the lab for 8, 10, 12 hours. That doesn't fit my personality. So I was like, okay, I got the major, did what I needed to do, so I started looking at things that I wanted to do. Med school, out the table because I didn't have those classes. So I was like, I didn't want to do that no more anyway, so move that to the side. So I was thinking, I'm gonna be a physician's assistant. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I saw how hard the process was for being a PA, and I would probably have to move super far away from my family because whatever PA school you get into, you go. Like a lot of the times it's so hard to get into those schools, and I was like, is this something that I really want to do? And then I had to think, and I was like, no, this isn't something that I want to do. So it was just a lot of soul searching during that time, and I had to be realistic with myself. Like, does that fit my lifestyle? Is that something that I would like? Is that as much schooling as I would like to do? All that type of stuff. And I had to tell myself no. So I'm not saying that nursing was my backup plan. For me, that was a blessing in disguise because I didn't know how good of a fit that area would be until I got into it. Like, I am so blessed and so thankful that God guided me and told me med school's not for you, PA school's not for you, nursing is what's for you. Like, I am going to love what I'm doing, which I don't think a lot of people get to say when they're part of the medical field. Not saying that a lot of people don't enjoy their jobs, but a lot of people get super tired. And I think that nursing has all of its benefits, which I'll talk about later in another video, but it's just one of the best decisions I could have made. So I'm already given the thing that I'm in nursing school, which everybody or a lot of people already know, but then I had to go through all the application process, and I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go, and I'm like, I don't want to stay where I live currently in Wisconsin. I was like, no, I need to get out of here. So I was looking at all of these schools, things like that, but it just so happened that a school that's close to my house was the best fit for me. It had all of the classes that I already took. I didn't need to take any more classes. I already had them all. It was close to home. It was a little expensive. Now we're not gonna flex. The school that I go to is very expensive, but it has a prestige reputation, and I feel like that is worth it for when I look for jobs. So I decided to apply there, and that's the only school that I applied for. I was like, I'm gonna leave it in God's hands. If it's meant for me, it's me. If not, then I need to go take some more classes and apply to other programs that's far away. Don't know what I'm gonna do for a year for the next term when you get to apply for the schools, but that's just what I'm gonna have to do. So I put that into God's hands, and by the grace of God, I got into my program. And the program that I got into was a master's level nursing program. So I would get my master's in nursing in 18 months. It's called a DE program, which means that you can have a major in something else. You just have to have the prereqs, and they'll teach you everything that you need to know. So a lot of the programs that I was looking at, it would be like 15 months, 18 months to get your BSN in nursing, when I'm getting my master's in nursing, which gets me one step further to being an NP if I want to, but also giving me an increased amount of knowledge for, I guess, kind of similar price tag. So do I think that nursing, do I really think that nursing was the right fit for me? 100, 1,000, 1,000,000% yes. Like, I think that it was perfect for me. I have so much visions that I want to do in the nursing field, whether it be personally, like maybe coming up with a business or anything like that, but I just love the path that I'm on. And I will be done in less than 3 months, and then I have to take the NCLEX, but I just feel fantastic. Like, if I would look at myself, what am I, 23 now? When I graduated, which was last year in May, 22-year-old self, I'm like, okay, I'm very excited, this is what I'm doing. But to see that I'm almost done and I did it, and I did it well, I'm super proud of myself. And I do not think that nursing was the wrong choice for me. I think that it was the best choice for me. And I think that a lot of people in my program who I'm with, they agree that they didn't think that nursing was the right field for them. But guess what? It was. So that was just a little bit of a backstory. I know I was rambling for days. I know I was. But I just wanted to get this video out there because on my channel I do a lot of like fashion, beauty, or not a lot. I've got 5 videos out or whatever. But fashion, beauty, things like that. But I want to focus a lot of my channel on my profession because that will be my profession for the rest of my life. Like, that is what I'm going to do, and I would love to talk to other people about it and to maybe give them some guidance with the whole nursing thing, or just let them know how it is and things like that. Right now I'm super happy, but hopefully I get a job around like January sometime so I can actually be a nurse. Right now I'm a nursing student, but I feel like I've learned a lot in that time, and I do have a lot of valuable information to give anyone if they want some of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little sit down talk instead of me up and moving around. And thanks guys so much. I hope you enjoyed my story, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye guys.